Good morning, happy Monday. It's Elizabeth. July 31st, 2017. Having my keto iced coffee with a little bit of heavy whipping cream from Starbucks. On my way into LA for a pretty cool conference on marketing and branding that I will probably post from on Instagram today. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do. It's eKillPatrick, but instead of CK at the end of Patrick, it's K. eKillPatrick with no C at the end. Yeah, so I am 3 years, 3 months post vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and although I do need ways to get where I'm going, I am not using it because I listened to my last car video I did, and that was all of the annoying. Thank you to the people who were able to get through that, because I actually had something important in that video to say. I think I have something important to say in all videos, and I'm probably mostly deluding myself. So anyway, 3 years, 3 months post vertical sleeve gastrectomy. My highest weight in January of 2014 was 402 pounds. I have lost almost 200 pounds and kept that off for 3 years. My weight last week was 213.8. My weight this week is 211.8, so that's down 2 pounds. However, that's not awesome because the month is up, and that will be that I basically stayed the same this month, and with a goal of getting to my lowest post-op weight in time for the Obesity Help Conference, which I am speaking at in October. At the end of October, I still have to lose about 13 pounds. So I need to get busy in these next 3 months. Relatively, I'm okay with where things are weight-wise because I had a lot of celebrations and activities this month because my brother and his wife were in town from Bogota to celebrate their wedding here in the US, and so there was lots of socializing stuff. So that I maintained my weight is probably pretty good. But I have a goal that I'm trying to reach, so yeah. But I feel relatively on track. I was not as strictly keto as I had been in the last couple of months, which back on track with that today. It's funny, I had what I consider a pretty big NSV this weekend. I was not in a happy emotional place on Saturday. And my immediate thought upon waking up was, you know what, I'm gonna stay in bed, I'm gonna order a pizza, and I'm gonna binge watch TV. Yeah, well, I couldn't even bring myself to do that. I didn't stay in bed, I didn't eat a pizza, I did binge watch TV a little bit. Ozark, amazing show, you guys have to watch it if you haven't already. I was having a carb craving, but I really could not order pizza. I haven't had pizza since my last, not that this weekend was a breakup, but when Neil and I split up, probably, or whatever, split up from anyway, my last breakup thing, probably the end of March, I laid in bed and ordered a pizza, and that's probably the last time I had pizza. But I just couldn't do it. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't do that anymore. That's not who I am. But I did feed my carb craving. I actually got up. I went to the grocery store and I got a baked potato and a nectarine. And so that's a lot more carbs than I'm used to having, but I think that's a much more reasonable choice than ordering a pizza when you're home alone and eating it over the whole weekend. So used to, I could eat a whole pizza in one night, but anyway, no pizza for me. I consider that a big NSV and sort of a tribute to the habits that I've changed and how my mind has changed in addition to my body, that just wasn't an option for me. It was ridiculous. I thought about it for, you know, like 10 minutes, and I was like, yeah, no. I don't want to do that. That's not going to make me feel good. So, anyway, back on the keto train, but generally feeling okay about food, and even feeling okay about this weekend because it was a conscious choice, and that's actually what I want to talk about in my video a little bit later. But exercise is going great. I love being back working out with Brandon. I had sort of deluded myself for a while that what I was doing on my own was the equivalent of what I did with Brandon. Yeah, not so much. Because he kicked my ass, as you can can't tell if you see the videos I post on Instagram and Facebook, but I love it. It feels so good. Yesterday morning, I was like, yeah, because I try to go I only see Brandon twice a week, but I try to go to the gym every other day. So yesterday was a day that I should have gone. I wasn't totally feeling it, but I got up, and on Instagram, everybody was working out. I'm going to get everybody's name wrong because I'm driving. I can't look. Kate 2017, and oh my God, I cannot. Everybody's name is eluding me at the moment. Fit Fat Rip Rat. Oh my God, what's her name? Stacy. Of course, Takesha and Nikki was working out. So I was just like, get off your fat ass and go to the gym before you do anything else. And I did, and it felt awesome. So yeah, so I just feel generally on track. So I'm not gonna beat myself up too much about not losing weight this month, because I didn't gain, and there were lots of activities, and in general, I'm okay with where I'm at. I feel in control and conscious about my choices in terms of eating and exercise, which is where I need to be, regardless of what my weight is and what it's doing. So that's kind of what I want to talk about in my video today, which is this whole idea of being conscious of our actions and our choices. For my whole life, up until weight loss surgery, most of my eating choices were very unconscious. I just sort of existed on autopilot, sort of trying to fill this, I don't know, whatever, fill the space inside myself with food. I didn't, it wasn't like a conscious decision. And when I realized, so of course when you have weight loss surgery in the beginning, you are very aware that things are different, and you are thinking very consciously about your food, particularly because you don't know how it's going to affect you initially when you're newly out of surgery. I mean, there are horror stories about dumping, whether you're VSG or RNY. I mean, I don't know. I was terrified to drink from a straw and drink anything carbonated and whatever. So you're much more conscious of the choices you're making. And I think that sort of starts to set a pattern of, at least for me, how I handle food. The interesting fact to me was the first time I realized, and this was maybe 6 months post-op, maybe after I was more familiar, you know, with what I could eat, what I couldn't eat, what it even felt like. You know, in the very beginning, it's like if you take one bite too many, for me, it was like I was going to throw up. And in the beginning, I didn't know when that next bite was going to be. I only knew it after I took it. Now, of course, I know before I take it. And 6 months out, I did. But the first time that I ate emotionally, post-op was very interesting to me. Number one, because I couldn't really do it. And number two, because it had to be a super conscious choice, because it was so different than what I had been eating and what I had been doing. And I'm pretty sure I remember this correctly, but I'm pretty sure it was on Red Lobster garlic cheese biscuit thingies. And it was a total reaction to something emotional, and I didn't like how it felt. And at that time, I started going to a couple of OA meetings and thinking about this and my emotional eating behaviors, because although I couldn't eat as much as I had previously, I didn't like the idea of eating from a place of emotion versus a place of, I don't know, nutrition, whatever, feeding my body. And I became to realize, as I really watched my eating, that I could just as easily eat something healthy in an unconscious, emotionally eating way as I could something unhealthy. So it's like I could eat a bite of cake and it not be from a negative place, not be from an emotional eating or an unconscious choice, just from not that I came to a party, I wasn't planning on having cake, but it was there and I just sort of picked it up and ate it. But I'm going to a party, I know there's going to be cake, I haven't had cake in a long time, and I want to have a bite of cake. And for me, that's okay. As long as it's a conscious decision that I'm making to eat this food, that's okay. So that has worked with me pretty well as it relates to food, except when too much alcohol comes into play, which is why I've had to pull way back on that, because I do not like not making conscious choices about my food and about other things. All right, so then also I just want to talk about how that relates at a personal level. I am babbling. It is hard for me to keep on track when I'm in the car. Please tell me I haven't been talking for 16. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, I've been talking for 16 minutes. I think I need to redo this. Oh, 10 minutes. Okay, good. I can finish that quickly. But so just as weight loss surgery has given me the ability to make conscious choices about my food and to really think about it and to really decide that this is something I want to consume. It's one of the reasons I talked about in my WS Topic of the Week video. I don't keep a lot of food in my house because then it really has to be a conscious choice. If I want to eat shit, I have to make the choice to get up, go out of the house, drive somewhere, buy it, and eat it. And by the time I do all that, my rational brain will have kicked in and I would have been like, yeah. But so here's the thing that I think therapy and relationships and other things have helped me is that right now I'm have something going on in my personal life that is bringing up a lot of old thoughts about old patterns for me and things that I've done in relationships unconsciously before. So here's what's interesting is that in addition to losing 200 pounds and becoming conscious about what I eat, I guess apparently somewhere along the way I become conscious about my decisions in my emotional and personal life, which is pretty fabulous, but also much more difficult. It's a lot easier to make unconscious decisions than it is to make conscious decisions. And I know I am totally fucking, I know I say the F word too much. I know I'm totally fake booking. But here's the thing. Once you're, all these things in my head now are conscious. So it's like, okay, if you do this, you are doing it with this intention. You know this is X, Y, Z. And if you choose to do that, it's a conscious decision, not an unconscious decision. And so what's my point? My point is that you are way more in control of your life and your choices when you can think about things consciously versus just reacting unconsciously with regard to patterns that you may have had your whole life. And I think that applies a lot to weight loss surgery and our goal to be healthy. Courtney, VSG Redesigned Me, did a video this week for my WS Topics of the Week challenge, which I have I'm not putting the videos on my channel, I am just putting them in a playlist. I don't have them all there yet, I haven't watched them all, but Courtney's is there and I encourage you to go watch it because what she talks about is, the question of the week was, what has been one biggest contributing factor to your success in weight loss surgery? And her contributing factor was herself and the choices that she's made. And she talked about how her doctor did something that I've never heard any doctor do, which is she had her walk into surgery on her own, not wheeled in on a thing, a gurney or whatever, but she actually walked in, and that was her physical conscious choice to make this change in her life. And it just sort of gives me chills because that's the place of power, is when we are making conscious choices about our food, about our exercise, about our personal relationships, about everything in our life. So anyway, that's what's on my mind this week. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope I didn't babble too much, and I will probably talk to you on Wednesday with the WLS Topic of the Week. All right, you guys take care and have a great week.